Hello there, YouTube. I actually have like 4 videos that I need to upload. I did not do them all tonight. I did 2 of them tonight. Well, this is actually my second one. We're gonna knock out 2 tonight, okay? There is someone on my YouTube channel who keeps asking me questions about BDSM related material. And so today, this video is going to be strictly BDSM related. And I believe that, I'm sorry if I get this wrong. Your name is Taru Fudi. Tarofoodie. I think that's how you spell it. Anyway, you wanted to know if I live with my master. No, I do not live with my master. The reason being is because the convenience. Location, school is right down the street, so um, that's why I do not live with my master. So we rented a place really close to my school, so that way I can commute and it doesn't, it doesn't cost any money, really, to commute. As far as I am, I can legit like open my window, probably throw something, and it would hit the school. That's how close it is. Okay. Um, have I lived with him? Yes. Um, am I going to live with him again? Undoubtedly. So you asked me about domestic relationships, like a domestic submissive relationship, and you said, doesn't your master or don't your master control what you wear and your choices in everyday life? Here's the answer to that. That's kind of a complicated question, but I'm going to try and spit this answer at you in the right direction. Or spin, I think was the word I'm looking for. Spit's kind of nasty. Okay. In almost any relationship, your master or dominant is going to want to have an input on what you wear. In almost any relationship. I mean, legit. Like a regular vanilla relationship, vanilla meaning people who aren't into BDSM and have no idea what I'm talking about. Those are vanilla people. It's like a whole race of people. Weird. Anyway, vanilla people, they have no idea what I'm talking about. Like, I've totally lost my train of thought. I'm not stopping this video and doing another one just because I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah, about the whole wearing thing. If you're in a regular relationship with a man, that they always want to control kind of what you wear. Some of them like for you to be super exposed when you're doing things. That is controlling what you're wearing. Some of them like for you to be really covered up, like this, with a collar, kind of really up close to your neckline. Um, that is also controlling what you wear, keeping things from being exposed. Um, let's see here. Oh, and your everyday choices in life. That's, to be honest, that's almost in every BDSM relationship. Every type of BDSM relationship, your master is going to control a lot of your choices. Not every choice, okay? There are degrees. You have masters out there who will, if you ask to buy a certain car, they may be like, no, you can't buy that car. Or, if you say, I'm going to the movies with so-and-so tonight, they may be like, nah, don't really want you to go to the movie. Um, Now, are there masters who go further than that? Yes, yes there are. Like my master. My master has a tracking device on my phone, and I think like maybe one on my vehicle. I'm not entirely sure, but I know he has one on my phone because I went with a friend of mine to the gym, and we were gone like maybe 3 minutes away from my apartment, like 3 minutes, and he texts me, "Where am I?" And I had to give him an honest answer, because he knows exactly where I am. I have to ask him for everything, every single little thing that I do. I have to ask him about it. I mean, do I have to ask him to use the bathroom? No, I don't have to ask him to use the bathroom. Unless we're in a scene, like, and we're playing, yeah, I have to ask him to use the bathroom. Because obviously, if I'm tied up, you know, I'm not going to just be able to get myself loose and go to the bathroom, so I have to ask his permission. Um, Things like that, those are things that he kind of controls in my life. And you did ask about for me to go in depth with my personal experiences. Now, won't go super in depth, but I will go a little in depth, okay? Just a little. Because I feel that there is a part of me that wants to educate people watching YouTube, and there's a part of me that still wants to have a lot of my life private. So, um, let's see. Can you be a domestic slave and a sex slave, or a domestic submissive and a sex submissive? Keep in mind, a slave pretty much has no choices and does exactly what their master says 24/7. A submissive is taking it up basically one notch and kind of giving you a little bit more freedom and in the amount of choices you're allowed to make. So, can you be a domestic slave and a sex slave? Absolutely. There really aren't any limits to what you can do and what you can't do in BDSM. You can pretty much do anything and it be BDSM related. Driving your car down the road, not things like that. Obviously, not paying a bill. Those aren't really BDSM related unless you get your jollies off by handing a lot of money away to somebody, which is weird. Everybody has a fetish, and fetish is part of BDSM. We are the world of fetish. Um, let's see here. In-depth experiences. My in-depth experiences. Well, I do a thing every once in a while called exhibitioning, and it's where, I think I went over this in a previous video. Exhibitioning is where, you go and you do a scene in public. And I feel like all these words I'm using here, I'm going to have to describe these to you. Okay, exhibitioning. It's when you're playing in public, naked in front of people at the local BDSM dungeon. The dungeon is usually discreet, so no one knows where it is except for only a handful of people. So you'll go to the BDSM dungeon, I have exhibitioned quite a few times at my local BDSM dungeon where I am mostly, if not all naked, being caned or whipped or flogged, or paddled or spanked. You know, all of these things I have done in public. I have been chained up to where my hands are on the, like, my hands are attached to chains on the ceiling, and my feet are chained to the floor, and I'm being whipped or beaten. And it has left marks for probably, I would say 2 weeks, about 2 weeks. In extensive circumstances, when I've done something really bad and I needed to be punished, it was more like they lasted for about 3 weeks or so. Next day, you can't sit down, the master tries to focus on your ass, not anywhere else. Even though in previous relationships I have had canes, like, and you know what a cane is, a bamboo stick broken across my back. Someone has hit me so hard. Um, I've had experiences with, of course, the spanking bench. Everybody should know what the spanking bench or kneeling bench is. It's basically got pads for your knees, and you bend over the bench. It's just a bench, like leather, or it could be made out of wood, whatever. And you get spanked, so beaten. Basically, it just exposes your ass. Essentially, that's the goal. It exposes your ass. I have experience with sex swings. I have experience with swinging in general. Not that kind of swinging. Like I don't just go from partner to partner. Not that kind of swing. I mean like a swing set, legitimately a swing set. Um, because the dungeon that I go to has a swing set inside, and you can just watch everyone. I have little experience with electroplay, electrosex, like very little experience in that. I do have some experience with it though. Not my favorite. I'm trying to think of other things. Stockades, I have experience with stockades. I also have experience with the BDSM cross. And you asked what a typical day is like in my BDSM life. Like, I don't know if you're referring to now or just in different, like, lifetimes. Well, not lifetimes, but, different times in my life. When I was a domestic slave, I woke up, and this was in a relationship that, I had quite a while back, and I pretty much just kind of woke up, rolled out of bed, immediately started cleaning the house, and um, I was given 3 meals a day, and that was pretty much it. Was not allowed to talk to anyone, was not allowed to make eye contact. Eye contact restriction is another part of BDSM. Um, one that I don't really like that much. Um, let's see. To be honest with you, I don't really even like talking about the domestic slave relationship that I was in. It was just kind of ridiculous. Moving on, basically a typical day in my BDSM world is more like, you know, it's very controlling, because I'm always being monitored. Where I am is being monitored. He has my bank account information, my Facebook information. He has all of my information. He can pretty much and he also has some sort of thing. He can tell who I'm texting and what the text message says and at what time it was sent. Don't know how he does that, but he does do that. So, those are things that I have to deal with on a daily basis. He gets suspicious really easy if I do something that he cannot figure out. Like if I do something and he don't know, where I am. Like if I left my phone somewhere, um, he gets a little suspicious and things like that. Let's see. We do lots and lots and lots of pet play. Pet play is pretty much focused on taking yourself um, the below the state of submission, below the state of slave, and into a subcategory. I mean, we're going all the way into pet play, which is taking yourself kind of out of even the human realm. So you're not even treated like a human, you're treated like a pet. So eating out of bowls on the floor, being led around on a leash, being yanked around by your collar, um, eating at your master's feet, trying to think, anal plug with a tail attached to it, I wear. Um, we have, I have, matches my hair, the tail and everything, it matches my actual hair. It's pretty high quality stuff. You can get it at kittencream.net. It's a really great website. Um, but yeah, so I also have the cat ears, the collar, the tail, um, and a leash, and I will be led around on the leash, in public or in private. Um, doesn't really matter. And, but like I said, real life is always going to intrude on BDSM. Does he micromanage me? when it comes to making any sort of like small decision, yeah, he does. Like, I mean, when it comes to what I eat, he kind of sort of manages that, not too much though. When it comes to using the bathroom, like I said, he doesn't care about that. What I do when he's not around, like in my bedroom or in the apartment or whatever, like if I want to play the piano or watch YouTube all day if I don't have school, like he doesn't care. Um, those are just those type of things. Um, we just placed an order for about $600 worth of new BDSM toys, and I'm going to they're all really high quality toys, and I'm going to try and see if Master will let me show them off to you guys, and you guys can let me know what you think. I think I went over everything um, in this for you. Foodie. I'm just going to call you Foodie, okay? Um, I think I went over everything. Uh, yeah, that's pretty much everything. So if you if you feel you need to ask more questions, you can always leave them in the comments below or send me an email, and I will get back with you ASAP. So while you guys are watching this, hope you're having a good evening or day or whatever. And I will talk to you later. Peace out.